Let's get my mic on. Hey everyone, I'm Meteorologist Carly Smith. I wanted to get started right away. These are the 3 things that you need to know. So if anybody's watching this after the fact, we do have a warm front to talk about. So if you're watching, warm front, what that's going to do, move through tonight. That's going to keep us cloudy with some light rain in the area. There is a chance for storms. So where is that? Well, as we look ahead to Thursday, so especially Thursday morning and then a slim chance into the afternoon, areas kind of right along 181 there have the best chance for some marginal risk of severe weather. So that's going to be from Corpus Christi through Sinton to Beeville and then to the northeast of there. But the greatest risk for severe weather where there is a tornado threat and additionally where there is going to be some strong wind with thunderstorms and possibly even a hail risk is going to be that target zone between Bryan College Station, Lufkin, and then down toward Houston. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to post a link to our Facebook page. Gracie, let me know if the sound is working now because I'm pretty sure I turned it on. But what I'm going to do is post a link on Facebook to my forecast write-up that has all the information you need to know. But while we do that, I'll go through future casts and then I'll go through more of the forecast details for you guys. So we'll take this full. Right now we've got high pressure over us, right? So that high pressure is essentially shifting east and it's going to bring our moisture back. We're going to see our wind shift back out of the east today. Moisture is going to increase and then we're going to see an additional help for lift. That's what a front does. So the warm front comes through, it changes our temperatures. They go from kind of cool to warm, and that's going to be an additional boost in the atmosphere that helps get convection started. And that convection is going to be rain, and you see that rain here. As the warm front continues to lift north, there's going to be a greater risk for severe weather along that front as it moves through Houston. So Houston, early, possibly even during the morning commute, especially North Houston, those North Houston suburbs, up toward Bryan College Station and then Lufkin, Madisonville on I-45. That area has the greatest risk for those strong to severe storms. 7 a.m., so possibly during that early morning commute, is something that will be an issue. Now, we'll take a closer look at the Corpus Christi forecast here shortly, but I want to emphasize that Houston has the greatest risk of severe weather. Our risk is actually really low. We're barely going to notice anything, but we are going to see some strong winds tomorrow. So you may have seen this post earlier on Facebook. This is the windy Thursday forecast that we've got expected. Really strong winds are going to be in the area. Those gusts 40 miles per hour. And so your inflatables, Christmas decorations that aren't secure well enough, they could wind up in your neighbor's yard. So plan for that. Secure everything today while you still can. And if you are trying to procrastinate, we've got much lighter winds actually heading into the weekend. So if you want to wait to put up Christmas decorations till the weekend, it looks like a great time to do that. Now, that's not to say we're not going to get any more cold fronts that increase our wind. Yeah, there's still a good chance that we're going to have that happening. But let's go back to our current conditions while we're here. So current conditions, it's 64, it's cool, and it's cloudy. When we take a look off the coast of California there, what we are seeing is, I'm assuming the sound is working. I don't see any new updates. Okay. Hey, Maria. So what we're seeing is this low pressure system off the coast of California, right? So what that low is going to do is it's in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere. It's going to come across the plains, the Rocky Mountains into Thursday. Now, in those mid to upper levels of the atmosphere, this is where all the energy is going to be. However, if I back this up, you see this is actually that warm front lifting north, taking that energy really between Houston and Dallas Thursday morning. That's kind of a target zone for me when it comes to that risk of severe weather. As I continue this graphic on, there's not a whole lot of mid to upper level energy past that event, past the morning hours, right? So that's something that I'm keeping an eye on. That's not to say it's not impossible, but the cold front in itself doesn't look very strong. In fact, it looks like it's going to weaken and not have a ton of that mid to upper level energy associated with it. Something else that's going to work to kick up storms is something known as the low level jet. And essentially that is going to get escalated as that mid to upper level low slides in. So there it is over New Mexico. And then that high pressure in between that low and that high, what's going to happen are our winds are going to be enhanced. That's going to start this evening, and then it's going to continue into tomorrow. But our winds start to be enhanced in the lower levels of the atmosphere, and then during the day that transitions down into the surface as well. But we start to see our winds increasing tonight, and then into Thursday morning, we still have those windy conditions. Into Thursday afternoon, the front starts to approach as we head later in the day. That stormy weather, that low level jet focus, that north to south or south to north focus, right? That transitions then into Thursday afternoon. So we have the mid-level energy in place with the warm front lifting north Thursday morning for Houston, but then the low-level jet energy is in place as we head into Thursday afternoon. So stormy weather is expected across East Texas, not only in the morning, but also in the afternoon because of these two features that are at play. So if you have plans to go to Houston, I would say hold off because they've got a risk of that severe weather. Now it is a greater risk just north of Houston, those northern Houston suburbs, but then the weather is going to continue to push to the east and into the southeast, and that severe weather threat then shifts along to the southeast as well and goes down. We're looking at calmer conditions into the weekend, as I mentioned, for Christmas light decorations. So once the blue disappears, I could get rid of the windy icon, but this morning when I was building these graphics, I stopped it here. So we're clearly still windy and then stormy into East Texas. So once again, here's the view of Futurecast for the Lone Star State. Warm front lifting north around midnight. That's our best chance for rain here in the coastal bend, is going to be overnight. Now a few of these storms could be strong to severe. They don't look overly impressive to me, but it looks like that midnight time frame to about 6, 7 a.m. is going to be our best chance for storms. But as you can see, the Houston metro area is much more stormy, much more active weather going in place closer to where that warm front is, and then the low level jet on top of that. Both of those features only enhance the risk of storm development, and that target zone is going to be over East Texas and not over the coastal bend. So let's see if we can get the Texas view back. Then, as we continue on along, this cold front is going to slide south. I don't expect a ton of storms with the front, but what it's going to do is stall out and keep a little bit of disturbed weather, unsettled weather, a little bit of instability in our area, and essentially a coastal low may develop. And so that keeps some rain in the area through Friday. As the front kind of stalls, it's not going to have a big change in our temperatures because there's not going to be a big shift in northerly wind. Our southerly winds are going to be strong tomorrow. It's going to boost our temperatures into the near 80 degrees for a high. But as the front slides in, we will be cooler on Friday, but more so mid to upper 70s again than 60s. So as this continues on, that coastal low moves into Louisiana, and we look drier into the weekend. It does look like there is, especially in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, another front that tries to slide through Sunday, but it doesn't look very strong or impressive either. Essentially, it's just going to work to keep northerly winds in our area, and temperatures look like they're going to stay in the 70s, but something that this front is going to do is, let's see if I have a graphic that I'm thinking of. So Anyway, what it's going to do is it's going to drag conditions out. So our dew points are going to lower as we head into next week. I'll work on that for tomorrow. We'll talk about the extended forecast. For now, let's go back to our warm front and the impacts for that, because that's what we're focusing on. So temperatures, hey Elizabeth, thanks for watching. Temperatures are going to stay in the 60s all day long today, and then look what happens overnight. They actually warm up a little bit. That's that warm front moving through. So tomorrow morning is going to feel mild, muggy, and there will be some scattered showers in the area as well. Then into the afternoon, that's when our temperatures near 80 degrees for afternoon temperatures. What you're going to notice in your rainfall forecast, the greatest chance of rain overnight, but a few showers still, especially Thursday morning, decreasing into Thursday afternoon, but there is going to be another bump in rain with some widely scattered showers with that coastal low and the stalling front as we head into Friday. So this is CAPE, this is convective available potential energy that is necessary to get storm development. And essentially what this is calculating is heat at the surface and how that's translating into storm energy. And so what we see is we don't have a lot of storm energy at all today. With all of our cloudy skies, not a lot of heat is getting in. But as that warm front shifts our wind back out of the south and our wind speeds increase, the low-level jet kicks in, our convective available energy kicks up. So that's going to be still low for us around 2 a.m., but it goes up a bit into the morning hours. So one thing you notice here is between San Antonio and Houston, that CAPE is increasing. CAPE is all good, but it's not the only thing we need for storms to develop. We also need really those frontal boundaries for that additional lift to get the stronger storms. So just having CAPE in between a cold front and the warm front is not always enough. And so that's something to keep in mind. That warm front now is kind of on the leading edge of this CAPE. So here we have this. So essentially the warm front's kind of on the leading end of this CAPE, and then the cold front is behind it actually. That warm front is backwards. So as the warm front lifts north, that's going to increase the CAPE across the area. So that's what we're going to see overnight and into Thursday morning, is the increasing CAPE with the front. Then as the cold front slides south, we are going to start to lose some CAPE with the front passing. So essentially, where that low-level jet is strongest, where the CAPE is strongest, and where the frontal boundaries are, that's going to be where our greatest chance of severe weather is. And that's why the target zone is still going to be more Houston than, say, the coastal bend. We have a lot of CAPE because our winds are going to be strong and our temperatures are going to be warm. But we're still going to be fairly cloudy. We still are going to have a lot of factors inhibiting storms from trying to develop. And so then, as you can see here, the front is still kind of stalling on Friday, which keeps us with some chance for showers. Really, when it's on the lower end, it's more going to be showers than thunderstorms. But the higher the CAPE, the greater a chance for thunderstorms is going to be. So anyway, that's just a little CAPE in-depth thing. I feel like this is one of the reasons why that we are under that marginal risk of storms from Corpus up through Sinton and Beeville. But when I showed you earlier the low-level jet and the position of that front, that energy is still focused more toward Houston. And so even though our cape is higher here, that's really because of a lot of other factors, not necessarily just indicating that our storms are going to be in our area. So anyway, the point I want to get across is that the greatest chance for severe weather is in the Houston area. While we have a chance, yes, when we break it down on Futurecast, you really see that it's not a whole lot of rain or storms for us. It's going to just mostly be cloudy with some clearing skies into Thursday evening, and then you see the wind shift into Friday morning back out of the north, but that front is stalling, so our temperatures aren't going to fall a lot. But nothing, anyway. Yeah, so this is this morning. This is a chance for a few spotty showers around 9 p.m. Our best chance for rain. There's any opportunity for a stronger kind of downpour to happen is right after midnight through about 4 or 5 a.m. And then all of that energy is up toward Houston. So watch what happens when I zoom out. Again, we had a lot of cape at this point, but where the low-level jet energy is going to be, that's going to be into East Texas. And so that's where the greatest risk of severe weather is going to stay into tomorrow afternoon. So finally, with that being said, here's our 7-day. I have the warm front lifting north, and temperatures, the most important thing you need to know about this front is our temperatures are going to stay pretty steady overnight and warm a little into tomorrow morning, and then warm a lot tomorrow afternoon with a high nearing 80. That's because of the warm front. The cold front tries to push through, stalls in our area, keeps us with a chance for rain on Friday. You see temperatures don't fall a lot. The second front, you're gonna notice that more in the mornings because it's gonna bring drier air into play, so our overnight lows will be able to fall into the 50s. So that's the most important things I think you should take away from this forecast, and we are going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. You can keep up with the latest information right here.